Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Jessup Show podcast. My name is producer Mike, and I'm going to be your guest host for this program on this Friday night, October the 18th. I hope you're all getting into it. And I apologize. Steve is not here this week. He's actually on board a cruise ship. I'm going to get to that in a second. I also apologize for my lighting. The lighting is terrible. I apologize for that. And if you see me freak out at any point during this broadcast, it's because of the lighting I'm using. There's like some sort of pterodactyl beetle that's just like occasionally trying to fly out of the thing, and it scares the living fucking piss out of me every time he does it. But in any case, I'm going to try to get through all that, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, I don't have all the rest of my cool production stuff. So I can't do my camera switches like I normally do. Best I can do is just have this TV behind me. I'm going to try to bring up some things that'll be pertinent. At least one thing today. We do have a video from Steve that he sent in from that cruise ship that he's on. As you remember, last week, Steve was by himself. I'm by myself this week. I think he's doing this as punishment. That was him jerking off a horse, apparently. But he did like a Friday night's video kind of show last week. I did watch some of it. I don't know exactly what he was thinking, but it turns out we got like about 9 copyright strikes. We're being notified that we're going to be sued by BMI and ASCAP for a number of reasons. And there's apparently a massive lawsuit that's coming towards us from Sony Entertainment because one of the songs Steve used is going to be in a movie. And that's pending or something. So anyway, Steve had a complete meltdown. And in that meltdown, he decided he was going to track me down, figure out where the hell I was, what boat I was on. And because of Hurricane Milton, we got off schedule a little bit, and we weren't able to get back to Tampa on that Thursday when we were supposed to, on the October the 10th. We got rerouted to Miami, and we ended up docking there on the 11th and allowed any passengers who wanted to get off the boat to do so, and then the Carnival would bus them up to Tampa, and they can make their way home. I wasn't about to do that. These are bonus days. My 4-day cruise turned into a 7. And Steve took the opportunity to essentially took advantage of the fact that the boat was, we were restocking for supplies. We needed food. I imagine we needed gas at that point. And Steve figured that out, got to Miami, and literally took control of all the supplies that were going to be brought on board. Don't know how he managed that, but shortly after he got on board with all that stuff, he set up a black market economy on deck 4. There was he had a whole list of stuff that he ended up doing. There was a Vietnamese nail salon rub and tug in one of the rooms. They had a dispensary in room 420, believe it or not. Bacon was something of a bit of a rarity on board. When bacon was available at breakfast, there was someone behind the counter that was serving you 2 strips of bacon. Well, Steve blew that dynamic right out of the water, and he was selling it by the pound, fully cooked. Some dude from Bali was doing all the cooking. I don't think he was a chef on board. I think he was a steward on one of the other decks. But anyway, he was doing all the bacon cooking, and Steve was just making a killing. So he's still on the ship. I bailed when we finally got back to Tampa. Steve remained on board, and we actually do have a video that Steve sent in. And I'm going to try to play it now. Forgive me for the audio, but this is a little check-in Steve has given us from the boat. All right, so that's our man, Steve Jessup. He apparently is still in Mexico or some location. Hopefully he will be back. That would be great. Again, you can see how uncomfortable I am doing this. I don't like being on camera at all. I don't know if that comes clear on other programs, but I really don't enjoy this. So I want to do some shout outs. First and foremost, I want to say shout out to Mike in Pittsburgh. You're big fan who contacted us a few months back, I think it was, and he enjoys the program. So Mike, if you are watching, peace, man, and apologize for this, but I hope you are having a good time and a good Friday and a good Friday night. Hey, shout out to Jay Morales. Jay hasn't been calling in a whole lot. He's been busy, he's hustling, working hard. Jay's also had some email problems, so it's been very difficult to even contact him in any way, shape, or form. But exciting, I'm going to be seeing Jay Morales next week. If y'all remember a few episodes back, we had Aaron Bratcher, director from the West Coast. He is doing a production of Slash Squatch, a small mountain town being ravaged by a Bigfoot slasher type individual thing. So he's filming that now, and myself and Sad Brad and Jay Morales, if he's around, will be taking our talents to the Slash Squatch set, and hopefully we'll be getting some nice roles in that. We'll be bringing up my Outlook here. We're going to be heading up there on Sunday, and we're there through Wednesday. 3 days of filming, and it should be very exciting. So we'll certainly bring you up to speed there. Okay, like I said, I'm at Sad Brad's. I'm in his living room, and Brad shared with me a story that I'm going to share with you all. This is kind of the things that I deal with, being a close confidant of the young Brad. But Brad was telling me a story about how he just gotten his new SUV, and he had bought it from a private individual. So getting that particular vehicle registered, you have to take care of that on your own. So Brad went to the website, and the earliest appointment he could get to handle the registration was on October the 25th. Just goes to show you how well Connecticut is doing. But the website, it is what it is. You either get your dates, and it is what it is, or you make other arrangements for a later time. Or I don't know what else you can do. But Brad had gotten his appointment in paper form sent into the mail, and he decided he was just going to go ahead and Photoshop that thing and then make another copy of it. So it's got the same confirmation number, but it has the date being the day he's actually there. So the woman takes the sheet, she enters in all the information, says, "Oh, your appointment's not today." And he goes, "Well, it says on the sheet it's today. Can you just hurry up and take care of this?" Well, they didn't do that. They took his form back into a back room where about 5 or 6 forensic scientists now came in, and they're all analyzing this piece of paper. Brad, meanwhile, is having an anxiety attack, thinking that a SWAT team is going to come in and arrest him for his forgery of a document. But Brad just said, "Nope, not going to stick around for that. Just take off," and bailed. While sitting in his car, he goes to the Connecticut DMV website, and he sees that about 40 minutes away from him, there's an appointment at another office, which he hightails to, gets there, gets his registration, and everything is fine. So I believe the moral of the story is, let's try to put forgery as maybe a last resort. Let's utilize all your avenues of approach prior to going to scorched earth and probably risking, I don't know, it's got to be 3 to 5 for a forgery. I know it's in a state venue, but crap, I think they can bring that right to federal. And we talked to Ryan about what happens in the state level and the federal level when it comes to, anal play. So anyway, that pretty much just wraps up what I wanted to share with you today. There is one more thing that I wanted to bring up that I was going to save for the Zoomers. Unfortunately, with the way this YouTube going live thing works, I can only utilize my camera onto one feed. And that's this feed here. And trying to get a Zoom call set in here is just not, apparently it's just not going to happen. However, it is regarding the cruise, the Steve Nation cruise that we have been talking about quite semi-regularly. And well, it's going to be morphing into more of a hang. We're not going to be doing the cruise, at least not initially. What we're thinking of doing is planning a economical trip to Las Vegas. That way you only have to get yourself here, and then we're going to work on working with some of the venues here, some of the hotels, to try to get a very, very, very cheap price. I mean, I remember staying at the Strat for like $11 a night. Now, I think those days are kind of over, but we might be able to work in something where the price per night is pretty cheap. We do it for 2 or 3 nights, and we'll have a itinerary of events that we will have planned for y'all. We would like to get some of your input on that. Beyond hanging out for a podcast or a Steve Jessup stand-up performance, what beyond that would you like to do as a group? We can certainly take any suggestions and try to work with what we can. But we think that might be kind of fun to do, and and we might be able to get that off the ground a lot quicker than we would a cruise. So something to think about when we go live next week. Steve should be back if he's not driving the ship to God knows where. But we hope to be back next week. We'll bring it up again there and get your take on it. If you hung out with me this long, I really do appreciate it. The Steve Jessup podcast, commandeered by producer Mike for 1 week. I really do appreciate y'all hanging in there, and enjoy your weekend. Drink up, smoke up. Go to Hamilton Devices, their website, and use Jessup15 at checkout. You will get 15% off of your total order. I'm using my gold bar while I'm here on my trip to Connecticut. Oh, that is good stuff. Again, Hamilton Devices, Jessup15 at checkout. You will get 15% off your entire order. Goodbye, everybody.